as long as you're not making your money by like robbing and scamming people, like
Wait,
whatever
what's
you,
wrong with that? A little
probably
bit.
like all the conspiracists that think all the celebrities are demon worshippers and stuff.
Okay, well that's true. That's for sure true. As
Bro,
much like
speaking of that, like that's literally like what happened to me. Like when I got stabbed in the face, bro. Like my adrenaline was so pumping that like I didn't even know. Welcome back. We got another episode for you guys. Episode 2 here with Coffee and Kicks. I'm Kicks.
I'm Coffee.
And let's go ahead and get this episode cracked off. Hey, first we want to just shout out everybody that tuned in to episode 1. We appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for the support. And make sure that you guys go hit that subscribe button because this is going to be the new channel that we will have for all the podcast episodes in the future. So from here on out, every episode will be posted to this channel. This will be the main channel. So make sure that you guys hit that subscribe button if you guys want to stay tuned. Again, thank you guys for all your support. How we feeling today, Coffee?
I'm feeling a little bit like I need some coffee.
You need some coffee. There you go. So just a little bit behind the name, I guess. Basically, Coffee and Kicks because I'm Kicks because I'm sneakers. You know, I love the sneakers. You can even say I'm funny. You know what I'm saying? Kind of goofy, goofball Kicks. You know what I'm saying? So it just kind of fits with the theme. And
Yeah, I would definitely second that. Goofy does describe you.
right, not too
For
much.
me, I went with coffee with a K, of course, because I love coffee. I drink coffee every day, and coffee just gives me that energy, like just to bring it. You know,
Yeah.
if I didn't have coffee right now, I wouldn't be this talkative.
I got me a little bit of coffee today, but don't be expecting coffee from me all the time. Just expect the kicks, you know what I mean?
That's-
So today,
He's not drinking coffee. He's drinking a milkshake,
It's iced coffee, so it's still coffee.
caramel macchiato, or
Caramel macchiato.
something like that. I took a little sip of it, and I could feel my insulin spike.
Hey, that's how you do it, man. Now I'm geeked up right now.
I just drink my coffee black.
Yeah, see, you like your coffee? No, I'm just like, I didn't even go there. But anyway, man. So just first off, the Rips yesterday, the game. We had a big game yesterday, a dope game yesterday. So what was your take from the Super Bowl? Like we pretty much seen the whole thing. It was a damn good game.
Yeah.
That's for damn sure. So
Yeah, that's for sure. Honestly, like for real, honestly, I just kind of want to second what Travis Kelce was talking about. You know, a lot of people was, I mean, they thought that the Chiefs were gonna lose.
Yeah.
Like me
included.
I mean, we're from Kansas. Kansas City Chiefs is from Missouri, but Kansas is in its name. So like,
Yeah.
if you're from Kansas, more than likely you're gonna like the Chiefs.
Right.
But I still wanted the Chiefs to win.
Yeah.
You know, like even though, and like I know that like going in, like I was a little nervous for sure because I
Yeah.
was like, I mean, looking at the Eagles, you know, just as a team,
Right.
like they just look so much like a unit.
Yeah.
And like there's at times like the Chiefs can just kind of get all over the place. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And like the Super Bowl isn't a place that you want to be all over the place.
All over the place. Yeah.
But like I don't know, like it's crazy. They just have a knack for like pulling it together when they need to pull it together.
It's crazy. That's like their go-to thing. It's like in the first half they're just all over the place, and then after that halftime comes, like they just all of a sudden come together and they're a union. And like you said, sometimes like that can kind of hurt you because you kind of get a little bit too far behind in the first. But they always seem to do a good job of at least keeping it in close range, so that way that second half they can come back strong. But
That's for sure, dude. Like whenever Patrick hurt his ankle on that, well, when he got tackled,
Yeah.
you know, and like he just got put in that vulnerable position, and that Maltese joint kind of spread and basically re-injured what was already injured.
Yeah.
Like that's when I was like, oh man, like this is when they're really gonna have to get gritty.
yeah,
like,
that's when it got really kind of scary for them
Yeah.
for sure.
because like I mean, like he was hopping and
Yeah.
like he was hopping so that he wasn't putting as much force through that joint to kind of like he was increasing how fast he was going off the field so that he wasn't weight bearing as much. and he was like hopping on that thing.
And
like
you
it
can
was
see the
hurt.
grimace.
Yeah,
you
like
can
it
see
was
the
hurt.
grimace in his face. Every hop, you could see just like, like he was hurting for real. I was definitely, and then like at that point, you really kind of felt for them because it's like, dang, like the Eagles aren't letting up. You know, at that point, the Eagles were not letting up. They were coming with everything they had. Like Jalen Hurts that boy was balling yesterday,
Dude.
I think no matter what, honestly, in my opinion, even though they lost, I still think he was the best player on the field, the best single player on the field.
Why you think that?
I think that because the Chiefs, they did it together. You know what I mean? Like I will say that like they played together as a team, and the Eagles played together as a team too. But it was Jalen Hurts like that was really doing the work out there. You know what I mean? Like all those crazy plays that we seen and those crazy passes, like they were always commenting on the catcher and how like he made an amazing catch. But I'm like, but what about that throw? Like for Jalen Hurts to be able to put that right there to where all he has to do is just get up right above that guy's hand, you know, just missing that guy's hand by millimeters or set, you know what I'm saying? Like to me, it was him that was like the single best player on the field.
Dude, I mean, I definitely can't. I mean, that's hard to say. Like I'm not saying I disagree with that completely, but like I definitely agree with like Jalen Hurts played that game, and like I just want to like talk about like how like composed he was at all times.
That yesterday.
Like even if this man like ran through 3 people to get the touchdown, like he just walked off the field. Like just
no
calm,
smiling,
nothing. He just like it's time to work, bro. Like
he's in grind mode.
Leave all that emotional stuff off the field right now. We just working right now, you know. But like it was. I mean, it was a very enjoyable game to watch. Like the fumble, you know, that happened. Like the catches that like got overturned. You know, because like and it was even after the fact. Like they had already been playing, and then it was like, nope, we're gonna call that back.
Yeah, we're calling that back. Bring that back here. But and also I will say too, to Patrick Mahomes' credibility, he did suffer that injury, went back and then came back and then played a hell of a game. Like even that run that we saw, like
bro,
he was getting it, bro. He was getting on me.
Bro, Patrick said Jalen is not the only quarterback that can run. Bro, I can run too. I can run.
Yeah, he said I can run, bro. Like, and he was out there. He was running. I was like, dang.
Bro, he was getting it. Did you see how fast his arms were pumping?
When I first seen it, bro, I literally thought that it was like a receiver or a running back that was running. And then I noticed that it was Mahomes, and I'm like, he was running like a receiver.
Bro,
like,
and I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, y'all, but like, that was after
the injury.
That was after the injury.
Yeah.
So,
but I mean, what else? You know what I'm saying? What did they go back in that room to get that boy?
Yeah. What you put in that?
Yeah, what you put in that man?
Oh, this feel good now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
I can't feel nothing.
But no, that was definitely one hell of a game. Enjoyed that one to the max. So
for sure,
ready to see like what we got next season. You know what I mean? But as of now, you know, it's the end of the season, so everybody's just gonna go back. Hopefully, Patrick Mahomes can get some healing done
for sure.
So kind of give us a little bit of insight. Like, what do you think? Do you know like exactly what he injured or?
So it was a high ankle sprain. So this would be so much easier if I had like a leg to like show. But like there's like this connective tissue in between your like bones of your lower leg. So you have your tibia and your fibula, and there's connective tissue that helps those two stay together and stabilize. I mean, there's a bunch of ligaments all around the ankle joint, everything like that. But a high ankle sprain is basically whenever those two bones separate or pull, and that connective tissue gets strained or sprained. And basically that's what happens. That's what happened with him. Like whenever when he got tackled, and his foot kind of like it almost what you called everted and like rotated a little bit, and like that Mortise joint at that point is going to separate, and that basically just re-injures what is re-injured. And like with injuries, like I mean, you injure something, I mean, you have to rehab it, of course, but like whenever you put injury on top of injury on top of injury, it never heals. You know what I'm saying? So like the alternative to that is, I mean, in this instance, is to give it external stabilization. So whether taping it, putting a brace on it, or something like that, something to kind of give it the added stability that it's unable to do on its own. and then drugs.
Drugs.
Probably. Like, I mean, like, speculative. Like, I'm just speculating, but like, I would definitely assume that they gave him some form of pain medication, you know, to go back out there. Because like, I mean, when he came back out there, a lot of them, like, I mean, you could barely tell the gait deviations.
Yeah.
Like, he was running like that thing never got hurt.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Of course, you combine that with adrenaline too. Like, I mean, anyone that's ever been into like, I mean, a physical altercation, you know, or anything like that, like when the adrenaline's pumping, like you can get hit in your face and like you won't even feel it as much. Like,
speaking of that, like that's literally like what happened to me. Like when I got stabbed in the face, bro. Like my adrenaline was so pumping that like I didn't even know. You know what I mean? Like it literally felt like somebody had poked me with like a pin needle or something. You know what I mean? And it's just like it just went in and came out, and like I didn't know that I had been stabbed in the face until blood was squirting out of my face.
Really?
And then I like it was literally like, you know how like in movies when it's like
yeah.
that's what it was doing, bro. It was literally like, and I'm like, seeing it out the corner of my eye, and I'm like, oh, like, and then I just start freaking out, bro.
Yeah,
like it was crazy, but
dude, no, that like I feel that for sure because like I think the first like physical altercation that I ever got into, and like we're not trying to like condone violence in any sort. Like actually, like that should always be the last resort.
right.
When it comes to handling any sort of problem.
Right.
But like I remember the first time I got into a fight, I was
Don't be
literally
no bitch, though.
I was literally at church.
You got in your first fight at church?
I got into my first fight at church.
Dang.
Well, my first like fist fight.
yeah.
And I do remember like
He was fighting with the demons.
yeah, I was fighting demons. no, but I do remember getting hit like in my face.
Yeah.
And like I remember my face, like, I remember my head like whipping, like because he hit me so hard.
Yeah.
You know, I remember my face like going back, but then like me just like almost snapping right back to two, not really even feeling it and just attacking.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like I definitely can attest to like the effects of adrenaline, especially when it comes to like, I mean, football, like at the same time, like it's a type of physical altercation.
Oh, definitely.
You know what I'm saying? Like especially when the other team's out there running his mouth.
Yeah, bro. Dude, that reminds me of the time whenever I was in whenever I played with Tyro.
Yeah.
In my 8th grade year.
Yeah.
And so, like, because we went to Tyro, like, it was a private school and stuff, so they kind of got to do things that most other schools don't allow you to do. So, my 8th grade year, I got to play football with the high schoolers, and I was trash. It was, like, my first, like, ever time. Every time I played football before that, I was always, like, since we were kind of chubby and I was husky, then I would always be, like, barely over the weight limit to run the ball. So I would always get put on the line. And I hated it, you know what I mean? So, like, that was the first time that I was finally, like, able to, like, run the ball, you know what I mean? And we were playing against Elk City. And you know Elk City, bro.
Yeah.
There was a bunch of corn-fed dudes, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
And they kicked it off. I caught it. I was running that sucker back, probably head up. I was probably head up, chin up, just getting it, not even paying no attention, and I got lit up, bro.
Got leveled.
Bro, I'm talking, these dudes hit me so hard, bro. Like, he hit me, and then all I remember is, like, I opened my eyes, and, like, both of them was standing over me. It was, like, 2 dudes standing over me, and they were, whoa! And I was like, oh, no. And I just, like, jumped up real quick, like,
oh, yeah.
That didn't hurt.
For sure, dude.
They
Yeah,
definitely hurt me,
I mean, like, and honestly, like, whenever, like, I always find it interesting whenever, you know, the NFL guys like, you know, like they start pushing each other and stuff like that. Which, like, of course, like you shouldn't handle things like that. But at the same time, like you have to be like mindful that like these dudes is out here hitting each other.
Yeah.
Like, if you think that someone, whenever the stakes are as high as it is, whenever you're on a professional level,
Yeah.
there is going to be, you know, like the increased risk of like someone getting a little bit too emotional.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Especially whenever you encourage players to play emotional or like be passionate about what you're doing. Well, passion is gonna be displayed in good and bad.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like if you're gonna, you can't have one without the other. Is
Right.
basically what I'm trying to say. Like, you're gonna have those times where like someone kind of loses their head a little bit and gets a little bit too passionate. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm really invested in this game right now and I'm losing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
And
yeah,
it's
happens.
more than just a game for them. Like,
That's
a lot of
facts.
people do say, "Oh, it's just a game. It's just a game," but nah, it's just a game for me and you. You know what I mean?
That's
The
facts.
people that are at home watching, it's just a game.
Especially whenever it's like, like you say it's just a game, but like this is how I'm feeding my family.
This is how I'm feeding my family. Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
And
So,
if
like,
I don't perform well, if I don't do my job well, and my team doesn't win, if my team doesn't win, they're gonna start looking for answers of why we aren't winning.
exactly.
And I could be that answer of why we aren't winning, and they could take food off my table like that.
Exactly.
I just seen I can't remember who tweeted it, Devin Booker or somebody like that. I don't know if they were talking about themselves or maybe about someone else, but it was like no, it was Kyle Kuzma. He tweeted about like basically like, damn, it's a cold world when you get traded at 1:30 in the morning. You know what I mean? Like
Dang.
that's what's happening out here. Like
For sure.
for these guys' lives. Like at 1:30 in the morning, they're finding out that, oh, I'm going to Utah or I'm going to Phoenix. From wherever you are, and like you have to uproot your entire family now, move them across, and then go create a bond with a whole nother set of guys
Yep.
that you used to talk shit to.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And
Literally.
then make a living there.
Yep.
So it's different than just a game
For sure.
for these professional athletes.
Yeah, and honestly, like that's a good perspective because people who like don't watch sports or like don't understand like that psychology.
Yeah.
Like they don't even think about things like
Right.
that. You know what I'm saying? Because like that is true. Like it is their job. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? This is what they do to put food on their family
Right.
on their table to feed their family
Right.
and to support their livelihood. Especially whenever you start whenever you start buying chains
I'm trying to
and you
tell
start buying
man.
and you start buying
Lamborghinis.
expensive cars, like you have to have income to
maintain
support
that,
those
yeah.
things. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, like 100%.
And I think that's a big reason why a lot of they get like why they say, oh, it's just a game or whatever. They don't understand that is because they get paid so much to play that game, and it's just a game. But and people, and I understand, that there's people out there that are doing backbreaking work 12 hours a day,
Yeah.
to support their family. But at the end of the day, like whenever you get off work, that's what you get to go home and enjoy, watching
yeah.
them play. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's more than just a game for them. You know what I mean? Like it's just, they're providing you entertainment. They make their money. I've always been the type of person that has been like, as long as you're not making your money by like robbing and scamming people, like
Wait, what's
whatever
wrong with that? I'm just like,
But as long as you're not like robbing and scamming and stuff, then however you make your money is however you make your money. You know what I mean? And if you get paid a crazy amount to do what you do, then that's what you just chose to do. You know what I mean? Like other people should have put in the effort to maybe do that too if they wanted to make that much money.
right.
So in other news, sneaker related news, have you seen the Mischief Big Red Boots?
It's a sneaker,
It's a boot.
but it's a sneaker.
But it's a boot. I'll show you.
It's a sneaker big red boot.
It's the big
Mischief big red boot.
Mischief Big Red Boots.
Who made that?
Mischief.
Is that a designer
So-
brand? Is that a designer brand?
No, they're like, I don't know how to explain exactly what Mischief does.
Bro,
Yeah.
those look like
So
those
we'll
look,
pop a picture up for you guys.
bro,
to see.
those look like something that you would see like a Teletubby wearing.
Yes. They like remind me of like something that like from the Clifford the Big Red Dog or something like, I don't know.
Bro,
Just
dude, those look like that looks like something
Mario boots.
or that looks like some Playboy Cardi attire right there.
Dude, these are $1,500 boots, bro. They're going for like over $1,000 right now.
What are they made out of?
I don't even know. I think they're made out of rubber. So basically, Mischief
Is it like wait? Is it like the same type of material that like the Yeezy slides made out of?
I believe so.
Really?
Type of material. So
gotcha.
Mischief, they do like a lot of weird stuff where they like make, like last year they did a wavy baby shoe. And it was basically like a Vans, right? A Vans shoe. You know what Vans look like.
Yeah.
Just regular Vans. But instead of like the regular lines, it had like a wavy line. And like the shoe was actually wavy. Like the shoe
Really?
itself, yeah, was wavy. So it had like ridges in it and stuff, and like the sole of it was like wavy like that. So
Like the whole shoe was wavy.
basically,
Let me see a picture of
Yeah,
that.
I'm about to show you a picture.
I can't even imagine that, man. I'm
Yeah.
telling you right now, they are coming out with some crazy designs. Fashion is pushing it.
Definitely, bro. And they actually got sued last year for the wavy babies, so they couldn't actually sell them the way that they wanted to because they do look like so much like Vans.
Oh dang!
Yeah.
Wait, the ad popped up. Dang, yeah, those look exactly like Vans.
Yeah, exactly.
They was
like
definitely
Vans.
trying to rip them.
And but that's kind of like their thing, you know, like they just
To rip off other people?
basically, bro. So for some reason, let's talk about that for a second. That is a big thing that's happening right now. Where
What?
everybody is ripping off Nike and Bape and getting mad because Nike, or no, not Bape. Everybody is ripping off like Nike and stuff, and then they're getting mad at Nike because Nike's suing them now.
Wait, like
And-
I mean, like what are they like? I mean, if you take somebody's design, then yeah, you should get sued.
Exactly. So they have like, you know, and I guess like the first people that did it, it was kind of like they were kind of cool. You know what I mean? Like they had this guy, Cool Kai or whatever, and his were like cool. And even though it was like a copied design, it was still like his own originality to it.
Uh huh.
But then everybody started doing that,
Really?
and everybody started making their own versions of Jordan 1s that were like just these other versions that had other, instead of a check mark on it, it would have a star on it or
Oh, I
some
got
other
you.
thing. You know what I mean? And
But you could clearly tell that it was definitely a design
a
that
Jordan 1 or whatever, a Dunk or whatever. And so, like, Nike's coming back now. They're like, no, we're suing people now.
Yeah.
So they've sued Cool Kai. They've sued Omi and a Hellcat.
Oh, I know that is.
Yeah,
Dude, that dude has been sued by a lot of people.
Dude,
like,
Omi has just been in a lot of trouble here lately.
because he always, like, I feel like he reminds me of a Big Draco. Like,
Yeah.
he just like, I mean, he'll like, if he can market dirt and make a profit, he's
He'll
gonna
sell
do
it.
it.
Yeah.
He will do it.
That's funny because him and Big Draco was actually just getting into it
Really?
about their shoes because
Really?
he was like saying something about offering Big Draco help making his Soldier Stars. Have you seen the Soldier Stars?
No, see, like that's something completely new. Like,
Yeah.
have you seen the Soldier game or like the Soldier? Like he made that little, the first rapper to have his own
Yeah,
game
his
console,
own video game console.
dude.
But no, so he was like offering him help or whatever, and then Soldier Boy was like, "How you gonna offer me help whenever you getting sued by Nike for your shoes? Like
That's
that
crazy.
don't even make sense."
Bro, but I remember Omni and Hellcat. He was like they came to his house and they had taken all his cars or like a big portion.
Yeah, I do remember that too.
Dude, like this man had like 20-something cars in his like, and mind you, they're just all sitting outside.
Yeah.
Like they were just lining his driveway,
Yeah,
and they were all white. I remember this, like just all the way down, and just all different types of vehicles.
yeah, I remember. You seen that? It was like a video where he was like showing them all. And
Yes,
stuff. Yeah,
dude.
I seen that too.
Yeah, and like he's not like an artist or anything like that.
Yeah.
Not that I know of. Like he's just
I honestly don't
A
know
hustler,
exactly
dude.
what he does.
hustling, like
Hustling,
not in a negative way, but like hustling in like
Yeah.
he just getting the money.
just getting money, and I mean, there's so many ways to get money that not everybody that's getting money that is not a basketball player or a rapper
facts.
is doing something illegal.
Yep.
But yeah, I don't know. That's just a whole crazy thing. But yeah, everybody is just like getting mad at Nike and stuff, and I'm just like, dude, how you gonna be mad like whenever these people are like, I'm not knocking you for making your designs or whatever, but
Yeah.
you gotta respect the fact that like if you were Nike, you'd probably be suing too. Like you don't
Right.
want people ripping off basically what you started, you created. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're about to make a new movie about the Jordans and stuff too. Actually,
Like an actual movie about
an
like
actual
the
movie
shoe,
about like
his shoes, like the dynasty that it's built.
yeah, basically. Well, it'll know like the origins of it.
Oh,
so
really?
basically, like them, whenever they like signed Jordan and everything, you know, like them starting, you know what I'm saying, basically
Mm-hmm. Really?
to come into that rise. Yeah. Dude,
What do you think that Jordan will ever lose a deal with Nike?
no. Definitely not. Definitely not.
I mean, Ye lost a deal with Adidas.
Yeah, but Jordan will die before that he loses a deal.
You think so?
And then he'll die, and then they'll always just cement the deal and give it to his family.
Really?
Dude, Jordan's made them like billions of dollars, bro.
For sure.
Like, there's nobody that does it like Jordan. No matter who you are, nobody's done it like Jordan for
Yeah.
as long as Jordan has done it.
I mean, I definitely agree with that. I mean, like everybody wanted Jordans growing up.
Jordan is Nike. I'm just gonna put it out there, bro.
Like-
Jordan is Nike at this point. Like,
Okay, so what you're saying is Nike would not be the same without Jordan.
definitely, Nike would not be the powerhouse it is today if they never signed Jordan.
Really?
Definitely not. I don't think so. I don't know. I think whatever company Jordan would have signed with would probably be the powerhouse. Especially, well, I don't know. You can't necessarily say that because Jordan wasn't the one that was creating the designs behind these shoes. You know, it was other people like Tinker Hatfield and stuff. So maybe, you know.
I mean, what's the difference between that and like Kanye doesn't have the patent to those designs?
Yeah, that's true.
Like he's just the name.
But I'm just saying like they could have easily probably just put that same design that Tinker Hatfield made and put it on a Iverson. You know what I mean? And those would have been the Iversons, and maybe he would have been the most popular. But I also think Jordan, it was a mix of both. I think it took 50-50 because 50% of it was Tinker Hatfield and the designers of the shoes making actually cool shoes that look good or a timeless shoe, and Jordan being the great player that he is and wearing those shoes and making people think that like if I wear these shoes I might be like Jordan or I might look like Jordan or whatever. You know what I mean?
Me like Mike.
Exactly. But it's funny to me to see all these people like complaining about it and stuff and just like really pretty much getting mad at Nike and stuff for protecting what's theirs.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
But this new movie though, it's got like, dude, it's gonna have like Ben Affleck, Matt Damon,
So a bunch of superstars.
Yeah, Angela Bassett. Like it's got a bunch of people, bro. Like
Really?
all big names.
Rihanna?
I don't think Rihanna's gonna be in it.
Dude, what do you think about her performance?
Hey, I actually thought it was a little bit boring.
Really?
Whoa. Well, okay, so
Dude, that's enough to get you canceled.
dude, it is, right, bro? No, literally, what's the name just got canceled for saying something about Rihanna. I can't even think. I was just Stephen A. Smith. He just got
What'd he say? What'd he say?
I guess he was comparing Rihanna. He said that Rihanna was good. He loves her. He's bought her album, spent money with her, but she's no Beyonce. It's basically it. And like people were just like, "Oh, you're pitting black women against each other and all this other stuff."
That's crazy. I mean, like, I wonder what, like... So, I think I can see where he's coming from.
Yeah.
But I think in this context, like, it's irrelevant. Like, this is about Rihanna right now.
Well, so what it was, and it wasn't even from yesterday.
Oh,
It
okay.
was about, this
okay.
was, yeah, like a couple of weeks ago on some Grammys or something, like at the Grammys or something like that. And they like asked him what he thought about it or whatever. Like he was explaining it in the Full Send podcast that I was watching the other day. But it was like, it was just funny just to hear him like talk about it and stuff. But no, the only reason why I say it was boring, it was a great performance. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But last year's performance was just so crazy and so epic that
With
it was
50,
like
Snoop, Eminem, Kendrick.
Yeah, it was like one of the best
Dre.
Super Bowl halftime performances of all time. in my
Wasn't there a
opinion.
female up there as well?
There probably was one of, but I can't remember who all was there.
I can't remember
honestly.
either.
I just remember it being like a pretty dope performance, and so I feel like it was a hard one to follow up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think, I mean, I would have liked to have seen, like, them bring out, like, the featured artists on some of the songs that she had.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because, like, she had, I mean, there were some good featured artists on those songs.
Yeah.
And it's not like, they don't pay those artists. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, they don't pay them for those Super Bowl
Which
performances.
is absolutely crazy.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting as well. But, like, they're just like, bro, we're about to give you a lot of publicity.
Yeah.
So, no, we're not going to pay you.
But I don't know, like she made it to where I think if she wouldn't have had all like the surprises and stuff, and just the fact that Rihanna hasn't performed what was it, like 7 years or something like that?
7
Like,
years. She hasn't
dropped
she
an
hasn't
album
since
since
2016.
2016.
Yep.
So I think that of like the illusion of her being away from music and stuff was definitely like,
Bought the big hype.
yeah, brought some hype to it. And
Yep.
then of course the fact that we found out she was pregnant.
Yeah. What was that confirmed?
Yeah, they confirmed it.
They
yeah.
did.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah. So that, I mean, that in itself is going to kind of affect,
Yeah.
you know, like just how much she can like do. You know what I'm saying? Depending on like how smooth her pregnancy is going and stuff like that.
And also, like, I also say that because, I mean, for me, like, I don't really listen to a whole lot of Rihanna. You
Right,
know? Like,
right.
But every time she comes on, like, it's a bop. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I love her music, but I'm also not going to put a Rihanna song on my playlist, or I'm probably not going to, like, search a Rihanna song, you know what I'm saying, and listen, like, to it by myself.
100%.
That's just not the music I'm into. So if you're a diehard Rihanna fan, I'm sure that performance was like you were lit during that thing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like if you were somebody that enjoys that type of music,
For sure.
then you were probably lit during
For
that.
sure. Yeah,
But
yeah.
for me last year, like that was the music that I like. So
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
Honestly, like, yeah, like, no, I completely agree. I think that she did a really good job, and like I would agree that like I think that she has an amazing voice.
Yeah,
amazing level of vocal talent.
Yeah.
Anytime that Rihanna's song comes on, like I mean, like I'm going to enjoy it, but like
Yeah.
I'm with you on that. Like I'm not gonna put it on my playlist though.
Right.
Like it's not gonna be something I'm gonna ride to.
Right.
I mean, I might like if it's stuck in my head, I might put it on.
Yeah.
But like it probably won't. You probably won't find a Rihanna song put on my playlist because of Rihanna.
Hey, I seen this post not too long ago about some pastor that went to hell. He died and went to hell, and in hell they were playing Rihanna's Umbrella as torture.
What?
And like everybody was like sharing it, and they were like, "But
Bro.
pastor, why are you in hell?" I'm like, hey, they ain't never lied though. Like for real though, why is you in
Pastor,
hell?
why you going to hell?
Yeah, you're supposed to be in heaven, my dude.
Maybe he went to hell. Maybe God sent him to hell so that he come back here and tell us this.
Maybe so.
But I feel like, but honestly, I feel like, why wouldn't you play something like Marilyn Manson? You know what I'm saying?
Something,
like,
yeah, or
you
like
know what I'm saying? Or just
crazy headbanging,
or
like,
just
loud.
like, yeah, or just something that would just drive you crazy.
Yeah.
Rihanna music doesn't drive you crazy.
I feel like if I was in hell and like I had to listen to Umbrella every day, like I would just be under my umbrella.
Yeah.
Ella, Ella,
Yeah.
Dude, I literally caught myself at work singing that the other. Now that I think about it, I was literally at work singing under my umbrella.
Oh, 100%, dude. 100%. Yeah, like that pastor probably just doesn't like Rihanna.
Probably.
And
yeah.
then like his subconscious mind played on that a little
Probably
bit.
like all the conspiracists that think all the celebrities are demon worshippers and stuff.
Okay, well that's true. That's for sure true. That's 100% true.
100% true.
No, I'm just messing.
Dude, that shit is so funny though, bro. Like everybody's talking about it on Facebook and stuff. They said they had all you seen was a glass of wine that Jay-Z had at some party or whatever, and they were saying that like it looked like the wine glass was stained, and they were like, wine don't like stain like that, like that's blood, and they're offering
Really?
like blood sacrifices and stuff. And
What? Why
I
did
even
they
see
stain
posts
things?
today about them saying Rihanna was doing like a devil worshipping.
That performance was?
Yeah. And then they had like
Interesting.
pictures of like some of the background dancers like with their fingers just like right or whatever, and they're like, oh, those are devil signs and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like when it comes to all that stuff, like you're gonna find something that you're gonna find something that's gonna be a little bit off, especially like if you're into symbolism,
Yeah.
and also like that, and like you really like are like believer of all that
Right.
stuff. Like you're gonna find something that's gonna like
little
somebody
bit
gonna
fishy.
throw something up, and you're gonna be like, that's what it is right there.
Oh my gosh,
You know what I'm
LeBron
saying?
James is a devil worshiper. He
Yep.
just threw powder in the air.
Look, did you see that foot tap? 111
Yeah,
11111.
that's the Jewish symbol for devil. But no, yeah, it's funny to me though. I'm just like, is it possible? Like, there's some of these people that think like this. Do you think it's possible for someone to become a top celebrity without being a devil worshiper?
Yeah,
And I really feel like they don't think that that's even possible. Like everybody
you have to sell your soul.
that is there has sold their soul.
Yeah,
And I'm like, it can't be like, Jesus reward people that do good too. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like there's people out there that follow Jesus closely, you know what I mean, that have millions of dollars. Like
Right.
there's nothing wrong with that.
yeah. I think, and I think you'd get a sector of people who would just like, even though someone may say that they believe, they would be a very, what am I trying to say here? Like skeptical, I would say,
Yeah.
of their faith probably.
Yeah.
And then there'd be some people who's just like, all right, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay. Cool.
So do you think that it's possible for someone to be like a millionaire basically, and like, okay, I'm just gonna throw this out there for instance, like have you seen like Pastor Mike from Transformation Church?
Mike Todd?
Yeah, Mike
Yeah.
Todd.
Wait, that's the pastor that spit in his hand
Yeah.
and then put it in that man's face?
It was his brother. And
Oh.
But so he gets a lot of flack because he wears his chains, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like he wears his watch, he's got the nice shoes and the nice clothes
Yeah.
and designer and stuff, and he wears it, he's not ashamed to wear it, and he gets a lot of flack because, oh, well, you shouldn't be wearing that stuff whenever there's people in your church that can't afford to do this or can't afford to do that. And I'm just like to me, it doesn't make sense. Like, why is this man not allowed to enjoy the fruits of his labor?
Yeah.
Because he's a follower of God or because he's a pastor. Like,
Yeah.
if he's leading the flock correctly and doing things that he's supposed to do correctly, there's nothing wrong with him having a lot of money. And it's not like all of his money came from pastoring.
Yeah.
Like he was a producer before,
Oh, really?
Like, yeah, like a top charting producer. Like he's
wow.
produced for like a lot of like top charting artists and stuff. And,
I did not know that.
yeah, and all type of stuff, bro. So like he left music to pursue pastoring.
Oh, okay.
And like he didn't just start off like it's not like he left music to become Transformation Church head pastor.
Yeah.
Like he left music to become like a youth pastor.
I got you.
Like small time, you know what I mean?
you.
Like barely making any money type thing. So like to him being the leader of the church and like seeing how far that church has come and how much they give back, and to still like hate this man because he wears nice clothes, or to hate anyone because they wear nice clothes.
Yeah.
It's absurd to me. You know what I mean? Like I just don't understand why people can't enjoy the things that is on this earth just because they cost a lot of money and they follow God.
Yeah, I think some of those views definitely come from like believers who would stay more on the side of like traditional like biblical Christianity or anything of that sort. So I think I think that's more along the lines of like, people who would stay along closer to like the traditional, like don't be very flamboyant or like showy with like your things. Like there's, cause some, like I have friends who are like who align more along with those beliefs. Like there's just no reason for you to be in that way or to display yourself in that way. So I don't know, it's that's where you get all your different denominations and stuff like that. I feel like, because like different denominations, the men in there, the women in there will act a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's a touchy subject, because I've watched like hours of videos of like one believer basically calling out another believer based off of how like they're acting or something like that, or what they're doing or what they're saying, and it's just like that affects the way people view, what I'm saying, God and the church in general.
Right.
And like sometimes, I don't know, like sometimes just like some things just should be aired out behind closed doors.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Because for me, like, I would feel like if you are somebody that enjoys that things, because there's nothing wrong with enjoying diamonds and nice clothes and stuff. There's nothing wrong with that. So if you're somebody that enjoys that, that's going to automatically deter you from like wanting to go to church, because you're going to feel like, oh, I can't go to church and have nice clothes, or I can't go to church and pull up in a Benz. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they're not going to accept me because I have a lot of money, and that shouldn't be the thing. You know what I mean? Like, even if you are leading the church, like, to me, that almost just shows like what can happen if you do follow God. You know what I mean? It's not necessarily like what's going to happen if you follow God. You're going to be driving in the Benz, and you shouldn't be trying to, be a follower of God just so that way you can get a Benz, but
I mean, and like I would, and honestly, like I think that like I don't, like, just because you're a follower of Christ does not mean that you're going to have an easy life, or it does not mean that you're going to have a better life than what you already have now. It simply means that you believe, and whenever you die, you will be with him in the afterlife. You know what I'm saying? Like, this life on earth it's gonna go. You're gonna have ups and downs and stuff like that. And I feel like some people look at God as like a genie in a bottle. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, yo, you're supposed to make my life easier.
Right. Whenever I come to you and like ask you for something, you're supposed to give it to me.
Right. Like, I believe in you and nothing's changed for me.
Right.
And like, that's just like, if that's the type of God that you've been fed, that's not the God of the Bible.
Right. So moving on from that, we got one question. So at the end of every episode, if you guys have some questions, make sure you guys drop them in the comment section for us, and we will answer them at the end of every episode. So we got one question. We'll look this one up real quick and see what we got. Oh, my bad. Okay, so this one was actually from our cousin Arbra. So shout out Arbra for asking. She said, "Hey cousins, great content, questions, and perspectives. Could you guys talk about how life experiences shape the way you look at life as far as success, failure, and the drive or lack thereof? Great first episode. Look forward to the second one." Appreciate that comment, Arbra. And that's a good question. You want to start, or you want me to take it, or what?
Ask the question again, please.
So, could you guys
I
talk
like-
about
yeah.
how life experiences shape the way you look at life as far as success, failure, and the drive or lack thereof?
All right, well, let's break that down because that's like multiple questions in one.
Kind of. Basically, she's asking how life experiences shape the way you look at life in all aspects. And I think that's a good question because me and you have like kind of similar but also two totally different
Yeah.
life experience paths.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's played a very pivotal part in how we've both gotten to the point that we are now.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, so like, that's a really good question, and honestly, you ask someone else this, you're gonna get a completely different answer. So
Right.
let's just keep that in mind. Everyone's life experiences is gonna be different.
Right.
Everyone is going to struggle.
Yeah.
But I think that with that said, I think that one thing that we can all share as humans, as we have different levels, like as far as like class and stuff like that, like there's poor, middle class, there's filthy rich. I think that one thing that life gives us all is struggle.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that people's outlook is going to be either deterred in the sense of life is going to break you, and then you get bitter regarding life, and you
Right.
think that life just isn't fair and it just has it against you, which completely makes your mindset negative. It makes your mindset very cynical towards everything. And then you have, like people who are like, life is hard, life just does not get easier for you, but you just keep going.
Yeah.
And I think that like regarding like my like speaking personally, I think that like anytime that life has gotten really hard for me, or I've failed at something or something just doesn't go my way, my mindset is always just like, like even though I failed, like I kind of reframe that, you know what I'm saying? And I reframe this kind of at a younger age, but like you just figure out a way of what not to do here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like there are some people who face adversity and break.
Yeah.
They quit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They give up.
Mm-hmm.
But like, and I think that comes from their mindset, you know what I'm saying, and their outlook. And like, you just, that's just such a defeating way to live life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and I talk about this all the time. Like, you just gotta keep going, and like that's
Yeah.
so much easier than said, especially whenever you're in the face of adversity.
Yeah.
Like whenever it's right there in your face, and like you just feel like this is just too hard. Like the worst thing that you can do is quit.
It's just to quit.
You know what I'm saying? Like the worst thing you can do is quit.
Right.
The worst thing that you can do is like listen to that voice in your head that says that you can't do it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because like if I listened to the voice in my head that said I couldn't do it, I wouldn't be where I was.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I think
Same.
that like that's a way that life experiences can shape the way people view it. And it's almost like it's an either or thing. Like
Yeah.
like either your life experiences is gonna make you, you know what I'm saying, like almost like soft in a way, like soften to the point where like you just can't take adversity. You know it can lead you to wear your feelings on your shoulder, where everything that's hurts you, or it's gonna shape you in a way of like, dang, okay, so this is what life is like. You know what I'm saying? So this is what I'm gonna have to face whenever I try to do something that's new that may be outside of what I would normally do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm a big like advocate for like you should always be like expanding your comfort zone. Like you don't always want to be living in your comfort zone, because
Yeah.
like I mean like you live in your comfort zone. Like I just think that like life just
It'll pass you by.
yeah
pass you by.
that and it's just like dude, in this day and age, like you almost to a certain degree, and I say that very, very like not loosely because I do believe it, but like you almost have to have a little bit of hardness to you. You know what I'm saying? Like
For sure.
Like because like I think that like people who can be like emotionally provoked are easily controlled.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you're easily manipulated.
Right.
Like I mean, like growing up, like I mean, there was like I was pessimistic with people. Like
Yeah.
like if I knew I could say something and make you and like get
Yeah.
underneath your skin,
I know.
I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
Like because it's funny. You know what I'm saying? And like
because it's funny.
and like not that like and that's like an innocent way of like going about it. But like
Right.
but then you have people who are like
Can be malicious with it.
Yes, be
Yeah.
malicious with it, and they can do it in a way that's like, you know, like that's you're kind of crossing the line at this point.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like this is like at this point, like you're not really respecting the human in front of you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that like that's a take on that. I think what do you think as far as that goes?
I mean, I pretty much agree with you. I think definitely that I mean, we all have like such crazy different life experiences. And like you said, you can there's only two ways that your life experiences affect you, and that's either negatively or positively.
Mm-hmm.
And the only way that they affect you is how you let them affect you.
Mm-hmm.
So there's like, you know, there's people out there that can have the exact same situations, and all of us go through a little bit of the same thing as far as what we struggle with. You know what I mean? All of us have anxiety at times, probably deal with a little bit of depression at times, or whatever the case may be. Some people may have those things way more severe. Some people may have had, you know, way worse childhoods. You know, there's people out there that have been that have dealt with, you know, being raped, being beaten, being, you know, having parents killed, or whatever the case may be. You know, there's people out there that have had a truly hard life that have still been able to make something of themselves. And then there's people out there that have been spoon-fed their whole entire life, that have had everything handed to them, and that have still died at 22 from a drug overdose. You know what I mean? Or
Facts.
whatever the case may be. So it's really just about how you choose to let your life experiences affect you. Because, I mean, my life definitely could have taken a different turn. You know what I mean? Had I chosen to do the things that at one point in life I was doing, you know,
For sure.
because I was kind of one of those people that tried to use my life experiences as a scapegoat for why I wasn't doing the things that I was doing.
Yeah.
You know, we're supposed to be doing. And so, you know, a lot of times it was because, oh, well, you know, I don't have parents, or because of this or whatever. But at the end of the day, once I finally got to a mature point in life and realized that, like, it's never gonna happen now. You know what I mean? Like, if you know, like at that point, it's in the past. You know, it already happened. There's no going back and changing it. So the only thing that you can do is make a life for yourself. And ever since, you know, I decided in my mind that, okay, I'm gonna put a lot of these childish things behind me. I still have a lot of childish ways, of course, but
For sure.
once I decided that, you know, I'm gonna put these things behind me and I'm actually gonna do something to better myself, then that's whenever, you know, I went and got a welding certification and started welding, and then doing a whole bunch of other jobs, you know, that I've done in life. But I've always just kept going. Like you said, just keep going, you know what I mean? Because like I said, it's not gonna change anything by dwelling on it.
Yeah, for sure, dude. And like, I mean, statistically speaking, you should be in jail or dead.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
And like to kind of piggyback off what you just said, like, and this is kind of the way I've looked at, like, and I'm not trying to say that like my life has been like super hard, like, because there's so many other people that's like had way harder lives than me.
Yeah.
I would say that you had a harder life than me growing up. You know what I'm saying? But like, at the end of the day, whatever happens to you has happened.
Mm-hmm.
You can't change that.
Right.
The only thing that you can change is the path that you're going to allow it to take you. And like, you can either you can let this take everything away from you and become this person that you're really that you're not, or you can take something from this and move forward. You
And,
know what I'm saying?
learn
Like,
from it
because
and
like,
move forward,
I mean, and like I know that like some people deal with these things, much more drastically.
Right.
And that's why we have things like therapy
Right.
that you can have, and you can have people that can counsel you and talk you
Get you the
through,
help that you
help
need,
you.
yeah.
Yeah, because some people need those things. You know what I'm saying? Some people genetically just take these things more severely. It affects them
Yeah, I was
more
going to mention
severely.
that too. That sometimes it's kind of genetics too. I mean, because I feel like for me especially, like the reason why I kind of had that "woe is me" mentality is from genetics. You know what I mean? Like there's people in my family, direct family tree, that kind of had that same mentality. You know who I'm talking
Yeah.
about. And so that kind of same mentality. Hearing that every time those people would come around. And, they kind of had that woe is me attitude, then that kind of projected it onto me. And every time I was getting in trouble, then, oh, well, they're just picking on me, or, they're just picking at me, or they're just, whatever the case may be, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just have that woe is me mentality
For sure.
growing up as a kid. And so I never learned, every
Yeah.
time I would do something and I would get in trouble for it, I didn't learn because in my mind, like I didn't really do nothing that wrong and people are just picking at me.
Yeah.
And then when I finally started getting older and now I'm realizing like nobody's picking at you. You're just being a little shithead. Like,
Yeah.
you know
Yeah.
what I mean? So,
And like and like the dark side of that, you know what I'm saying, is like sometimes, especially whenever someone has, something tragic that has happened to them, at times like that could be a hindrance for like almost like like I act like this because of this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And in some instances that is correct, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like there are instances where like, man, you got to let it go. You know what I'm saying? Cuz like this is holding you back from like blooming.
Yeah.
From being the beautiful person that you really are.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, yeah, like that's a thought that just like popped in my head.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
and I think that applies across the board because I know she said like, as far as life, business, success, failure. And I think that pretty much applies across the board. Either you're going to go get it or you're not. And that just applies, to everything, whether it be your business, you're either going to work hard at your business, you're going to fail a couple times maybe, but you got to get back up and keep going. In life, whenever something happens, your mom dies, your brother dies, or, you lose your pet or you break up with your girlfriend, you got to keep going. Whether, you're lacking motivation and you can't seem to find the drive to do the things that you want to do, you just got to keep going, no matter pretty much what it is.
Yeah. I think that's whenever that's whenever discipline comes in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Cuz like, I mean, it's okay to have emotions. It's okay to cry. You know what I'm saying? Like that's normal. That's a part of the human condition. But at the end of the day, like you can't stay in that state. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Because like if you just stay in a state of constant, like emotional, basically, like that's gonna affect the way you move forward.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like at some point, like a light has to go off. You know what I'm saying? You're just
Right.
like, man, I'm holding myself back now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, and that's tough. And some people go through some tragic stuff that they have to work through.
Right.
Some things that I can't even imagine having to go through.
Right.
But like at the end of the day, the foundation of moving forward or letting it break you is still like that still stands.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that still stands. So
basically, long story short, you shouldn't let your life experiences dictate your future. No matter what you've been through, you can overcome these things. You can find help. There's all types of help out there. So that's what I would pretty much say in simple and short. You shouldn't let your life experiences dictate your
for
future.
sure. And always have and like, and even going off, like, I feel like we just talked all about like the failure right there. We didn't even talk about like how like success, I think that when it comes to like success stories, like I'm one of those kind of people that's kind of hard to like celebrate success because like I have a mentality of like there are no finish lines, just water breaks.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like even if you even if you meet a milestone, which I'm getting better about, but like even if you meet a milestone, like have your celebration and stuff like that for sure. Like celebrate this. And kind of like one thing that David Goggins said in his book, Can't Hurt Me, like that's something that you can put in the cookie jar. Like that's something that you can pull out later whenever you face adversity. Like, you know, like, excuse me, like whenever something gets hard, like these are things that you can pull from mentally that'll help you get through it. Because like sometimes like this is also something that I got from his book, which I mean, like I had already thought about it. It was already there in my mind, but like him saying it kind of like gave me a little bit different perspective of it. But like almost like planning for adversity, like your mind's like, don't like, not so much in like a cynical way, like, oh man, like something's definitely bad gonna happen today. Something bad, like not in that sense, but like in a sense of like, this is life. Bad things happen. You know what I'm saying? Shitty, this is life. Bad things are gonna happen.
Right.
You know, things that I don't want to happen are gonna happen.
Right.
And I think that like whenever you can program your mind to know these things and to realize these things, it does help. It does help with going forward. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so and basically like just saying like, you don't want your mindset to get to the point where like, because like there are some people who will do this, like who are more prone to doing this, I should say. If you think like, if your mindset is like bad things are going to happen, it can almost like start to paranoid you. You know what I'm saying? Or make you paranoid. And I think that's a balance where that you have to make with yourself. And I think that a lot of that comes from like taking time to allow your body to rest, to allow yourself to like do a mental inventory of like, what kind of thoughts are you having? You know what I'm saying? Like, because I feel like in this day and age, like we have such a overly stimulated society, like the social media, you know what I'm saying? Like all the time. But like, and I don't feel like people are taking the time to disconnect from society, disconnect from social media, and sit with their thoughts. Take mental inventory. Like, if you're not feeling good, sit with that emotion. Like, lean into that emotion. Let's dissect that a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Some people can do it by themselves. Some people need help with that. And that's where you go to therapy. But like, if you don't do it, sometimes like you can get to the point where like you feeling things and like you don't really know why you're feeling it. And I think that like males are more prone to doing that, because like males, like historically, like just not really showing emotion, because like we've been painted a picture that's weak. You know what I'm saying? Which is, it's actually not weak. It's actually healthy. For you to be emotionally intelligent. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think, you know, go and continue off that. Like, when it comes to your success, you know, celebrate them. And again, keep going forward. Like, so set a goal and go for it.
And just to correct myself from earlier when I said you shouldn't let your life experiences impact your future, I mean, you shouldn't let your life experiences negatively impact your future. So kind of like what you were saying, like use those life experiences to basically better yourself. Use them to, you know, positively impact your future. And like you said, you know, whether it be the bad times that you face, you know, you can use those times in the future to know like how to avoid those situations. And then the good times that you have, you can use those in the future, like he said, whenever you're having those hard days or those hard times, and you can reflect on those and remember how far you have came and things like that. So for
sure.
But I think that's going to be in for us today. We appreciate you guys for tuning back in for episode 2. Like I said, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, because all new videos and clips will be posted to this channel. So make sure that you guys hit that subscribe. Drop a question down below for us if you want it answered on next week's pod. We appreciate you guys for watching. You got anything else for us, Keith? Or should I say coffee?
Like, and like you said, like any comments, like, and even disagreements, like, like I think that civil discourse is something that needs to be encouraged in our society. Like, because like, even if I said something today and you passionately disagree with it, I'm okay with that. Like, I'm not so rigid in my thinking that I'm not gonna listen to what you have to say. You know what I'm saying? So like even if you don't like something, like post it down below. Just like if you are emotional about it, I would encourage you to sit with that for a second before you write a comment, just because like sometimes you say things that you don't necessarily mean. You know what I'm saying? So like sit with that for a little bit, formulate your opinion, and then make your comment. It just might be a little bit more effective in that sense. So, but yeah, man, it was fun to doing this again.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it.
I think you guys, just to piggyback off what he said real quick, you guys will see in future episodes that me and Keith don't always have the same opinion. So we're definitely probably going to have some good debates, arguments, whatever you want to call them on here. And I think you guys will see that, it's okay to have a different opinion and still be respectful of one another. So I think that'll be interesting to get into some of that later down down the road. But
for sure.
Like I said, we appreciate you guys for watching. Make sure that you guys hit that subscribe button, drop a comment, hit that like button. We'll see you guys next time. We out.